LilMoe even said it on interviews, you know what I'm saying? And with the, you know, just get the tweak it with the perks and heavy. And you know what I'm saying? You feeling it, and that eat you up.
Let everybody know we got it with you for the interview.
Say it again, I couldn't even hear you. Say it before you even record. What you say? For real. What you say?
I said, let everybody know we got it with you for the interview.
All right. Y'all can't hear it.
Show your face. Show your face, please, with sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, as y'all know, LilMoe6Blocka is a young rapper from Chicago who we've also seen around JHE Rooga a lot, as Rooga was playing the role of like his big brother. It was dope to see because I personally feel a lot of young dudes in Chicago need that big brother figure in their life, you know, if they don't really particularly have their father, or just a big brother period, or just someone to let them know when they shouldn't be doing certain things, even if those things are glorified in their environment. This is because if they don't have that type of figure in their life, things that are glorified are things like smoking marijuana early, drinking alcohol early, robbing, killing, stealing, taking hard drugs, or playing with weapons is pretty much all they see, right? So most of the time, these kids become just another product of their environment, then they get sucked into that lifestyle, and next thing you know, we see them get a bunch of years in jail, and the cycle just continues. Now, in the case of LilMoe, he reps Scrap Gang, and he has been known to be young, but can also be seen smoking and carrying all type of weapons in his videos, despite him not even being the age of 21. And shout out to LilMoe because in the earlier stages of this platform, we did a video on LilMoe which became one of our biggest videos at the time, and I'm assuming it was due to not much people knowing who he was and knowing much about him, and the shock value of seeing this young kid toting big weapons and rapping about what he was rapping about in his videos. So when he hooked up with Rooga, it was good to see, especially once Rooga's music career took off, because now that Rooga is in position, it would allow him to put others around him in position if they work hard enough. This will also be an influence to those around him seeing him make it, because hopefully if they see him do it, they'll realize that it's possible that they can do it as well. However, it seemed like Rooga and LilMoe may still be cool, but according to Rooga in his interview with FYB J-Man, LilMoe and him have decided to part their ways. Now Rooga didn't say those exact words, but in so many words is what he meant, but instead he said that LilMoe wants to do the music thing himself. And one thing I like about Rooga, he's not that messy guy, right? You could tell during the interview, he didn't want to be messy and say too much about it, and didn't want to try and bash LilMoe, but he did make it clear that LilMoe is doing him right now, and he's doing the music thing on his own, and it's by his choice. Now when FYB J-Man asked him about leaving LilMoe behind, and it seemed like they aren't really rocking with each other anymore, Rooga also mentioned that LilMoe has somewhat of a perk addiction. Sheesh. I assume this may be one of the biggest reasons we don't see them together as much as we did before. Maybe Rooga don't allow LilMoe to pop perks around him. However, it's hard to try and stop somebody from taking perks that's been taking them for a long time. And the problem with taking them is perks can really mess you up. I'm talking about from your appearance to the way you think to the way you operate, the way you speak, everything. And maybe that's been the case with LilMoe. If y'all remember, he did an interview with 16 Shot Visuals, and during the interview, LilMoe could barely even talk. He was leaning, slurring while he was talking, eyes half open. And if he's trying to take music seriously, that's not the way to do it. You can't be in interviews nodding off, slurring. Let's say if that was an interview with a major radio station, right? How would that look? Then it gets to the point where you're in that state of mind, nobody even wants to be around you. It's just not a good look. They consider you a junkie, or, people just start keeping their distance because they don't want to be around that. And with LilMoe being as young as he is, taking those type of drugs, it's no telling what the effects on them drugs are, right? Because they have crazy effects on adults. So imagine a younger kid as small as he is taking those type of hard drugs, they probably hit him 100 times harder. So from my understanding, Rooga was trying to encourage LilMoe to stop doing it. And sometimes it's been so much you could do for someone. If they don't want to get it together themselves, they just don't, right? You can say all you want, you could do all you want. If the person don't want to help, if they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. It's as simple as that. You don't have no control. It's but so much Rooga could do, but I guess instead of seeing himself destruct, maybe Rooga just decided to part ways. But here's what I wonder, because on the flip side of that, we know that LilMoe been doing this. It's not something that's new. So what was the breaking point, right? What was it, or what happened that made Rooga say, you know what, I'm done? It had to be something serious, because Rooga and LilMoe was close. And like I said, LilMoe been doing what he was doing. So what was the straw that broke the camel's back? Because I honestly like seeing LilMoe around Rooga. I think him being around Rooga is not only a good influence, but it also keeps him away from the BS in Chicago that a lot of these young guys fall victim to. You never know, Rooga could be saving his life without him even knowing it. With him being around Rooga so much, it's keeping him, they always say, right? Idle hands do the devil's work. So as long as he focused and he's around Rooga and not, having idle time or just being in Chicago and that energy, maybe that's also keeping him alive as well. Or out the hands of the law. Right? So Rooga says that LilMoe just wanted to do the music on his own, but I think it's deeper than that. But maybe Rooga don't want to be messy and say too much. But he did mention the drug addiction, and we do know that that could have played a heavy factor. Or maybe LilMoe was tired of Rooga playing the big brother role, and he just want to do whatever he wants without somebody telling him something. Who knows? Right? Now, if we're playing devil's advocate, I kind of understand in a way, because they knew he was young and doing drugs. Maybe they also do drugs around him. So maybe he feels that they can't tell him what to do if they doing the same thing. Right? We see that a lot. That's like the drunk uncle in the family telling the kids not to drink, but he got a whole bottle in his hand. Right? You got to lead by example. That's the only way they really going to listen. A person's not going to listen to a bum tell him how to get money because he a bum. How you telling me how to get money and you not doing it yourself? Right? But like I said, who knows, y'all? I do know that ever since I seen him before smoking all that marijuana, even that to me wasn't good for him. Because it's too much. Every time we see him, he got something in his hand. I know people say there's nothing wrong with weed, but y'all got to remember how the saying goes, right? Too much of anything will kill you. Not to mention, he's also young and small. Who knows the type of effects that stuff have on him, especially perks. And as y'all know, when you start to consume drugs like that on the daily, you become addicted to it by default. That's just natural. It's not like you want to. And it gets to a point where you're so addicted that you can't leave it alone even if you want to, because your body grows accustomed to it. This is why often when guys try to detox, they can't. Because they can't take the detox process that your body puts you through. So instead of going through that, some people decide to just keep using it. Right? Just to avoid the detox process, they try to probably minimize their usage, but at the end of the day, they're still consuming it. And before you judge, I never popped one, but I do understand addiction. I do understand that you could go to the doctor and they could prescribe you perks for pain or whatever your situation is, then suddenly you become hooked after, and then you just start taking them. Then once you become hooked, now you start trying to find it even when the pain is over and you no longer need it for pain, and you're just using it at your own expense due to the high that it gave you. Then boom, right? You're addicted. Or some people take them because of the pain that they go through in everyday life. That's how they cope. They lost a friend to the streets or they're stressed, that's how they cope. Some people use alcohol, some use marijuana, some resort to taking their own lives, and some use hard drugs. So the only thing we could do right now is hope for the better for LilMoe. He definitely had potential, but he has to stay focused. Hopefully him and Rooga could patch whatever they got going on up, and we could see the two back together. I know addiction isn't easy, even for the person that's going through it. Even the people that got to deal with them, it's not easy. So once again, we can only hope that he kicked that habit and hopefully he gets help in the process. And besides, these days, you don't know what they putting in them pills, man. How many times have we heard of guys taking pills and overdosing or took a fake pill? It's just too much these days. Then you got people like Kodak Black glorifying taking fake pills and not caring. It's too much. You know, even the fake marijuana sprayed with chemicals and all type of stuff. Who knows what effects that have on your body? You may think you're getting high and it's doing something totally different in your body, but you just feel high, so you're cool with it. You know, so it is what it is, man. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. How do y'all feel about JHE Rooga saying that LilMoe has a perk addiction? And what can you suggest for him? You know, he's young. He still has a future ahead of him if he can get focused ahead of time. All right, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.